Hello and welcome to Excellence Classes. I am Rahul Andavani and today we are going to discuss the second chapter of Microeconomics, which is Central Problems of an Economy. Before that, I would request you to please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for the latest video updates. Every economy, rich or poor, developed or underdeveloped, faces three central problems. First one is what to produce. Second one is how to produce, and the third one is for whom to produce. As we have studied in the previous chapter, that resources are scarce or limited, and we cannot produce everything in whatever quantity we wish to. So we are bound to face the problem of what to produce and how much to produce. What to produce is the problem relating to choice of goods and services to be produced with the given resources and technology. This can be explained by the following example. Let us assume that resources are worth rupees 5 crore available in an economy. And assuming technology to be constant, we can utilize these resources entirely for the production of say guns and produce 500 guns, or utilize these resources entirely for the production of say bread and produce 500 breads for the masses. We need guns for the defense and bread for the people. Accordingly, both guns and breads are to be produced. Now, how much to be produced depends upon the wisdom of planners in a planned economy and depends upon the market forces of demand and supply in a free market economy. Now, there are two techniques of production in every economy. First one is labor intensive technique and the second one is capital intensive technique. Labor intensive technique is a kind of technique where more labor is used. On the other hand, capital intensive technique is a kind of technique where more machinery and technology is used in place of labor. An economy must decide as to which technique is to be used so that efficient production is obtained. It is a central problem in every economy because it impacts productivity or efficiency in one hand and degree of employment on the other hand. Mention your views in the comment section on which technique of production should be used in India for the production of goods and services. For whom to produce is a problem relating to users of goods and services. For example, if we are producing goods for those who can pay higher price, we shall be producing for the richer section of the society. For say luxury cars, AC, etc. Their quality of life would improve, but that of the poor would decline. The gulf between rich and poor would rise and vice versa. Now we are going to study the solutions of central problems of an economy in the case of free market economy. In a free market economy, due to the motive of profit maximization, the producer will produce only those goods which are more in demand and less in supply. The goods which are more in demand usually have a high price which maximizes the profit of a producer. In the case of free market economy, the producer will use capital intensive technique in the process of production so that the cost can be minimized and profit can be maximized. The producer will produce goods for the richer section of the society who can afford to pay higher price in the case of a free market economy. Poorer section of the society are often ignored, which leads to the problem of economic divide. So now we are going to study the solutions of central problems in the case of centrally planned economy. Centrally planned economy is a type of economy where major economic decisions such as what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce are taken by the government. In a centrally planned economy, for the motive of social welfare, the producer will produce those goods which are useful for the society. And the producer will use labor-intensive technology in the process of production so that the problem of unemployment can be solved. The producer will produce goods for the poorer section of the society even when the production of such goods is not profitable. Social justice is given priority over profit maximization in the case of centrally planned economy. At last, we are going to study solution for the central problems in an economy in the case of mixed economies. In a mixed economy, the producer will produce both types of goods, which maximizes profit as well as social welfare. And the producer will use both labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique in the process of production so that the problem of unemployment can be solved and profit can be maximized. The producer will produce goods for both the poorer as well as richer section of the society for the motive of social justice as well as profit maximization in the case of mixed economies. Okay, now let's move to the most important topic of this chapter, production possibility curve. It is also known as transformation curve and transformation line also. PPC is a graphical representation showing different possible combination of two goods which can be produced with the available resources and technique of production. While studying PPC, we have to assume that resources are constant resources are fully and efficiently utilized, and technology remains constant. Okay, now let's understand the concept of PPC with the help of a numerical example. Let's see the schedule given in this slide. The schedule represents that the producer wants to produce two goods, Y and X, and to produce the additional units of good X, the producer have to sacrifice some units of good Y. As the resources are constant, the producer cannot produce both the goods in whatever quantity he wished to. So he have to sacrifice some units of good Y to gain some units of good X. This loss of good Y and gain of good X is known as marginal opportunity cost. As the producer will sacrifice more and more units of good Y to produce the same units of good X, the curve will slope downward from left to right and marginal opportunity cost will increase. This will lead the curve concave to the point of origin, which you can see in the figure given in the slide. As we have understood the concept of PPC, we have analyzed that there are two properties of PPC. First one is it slopes downward from left to right, and second one is it is concave to the point of origin. The reason behind its downward sloping is when a producer wants to produce an additional unit of good X, then he have to sacrifice some unit of good Y. He cannot produce an additional unit of good X without sacrificing due to the limited resources. Therefore, it slopes downward from left to right. And the reason behind its concavity is when a producer wants to produce an additional unit of good X, then he has to sacrifice some unit of good Y. In this situation, marginal opportunity cost increases. Due to increase in MOC, PPC is concave to the point of origin. Okay, now let's move to the next topic of this chapter, which is representation of underutilization, fuller utilization, and growth of resources on the production possibility curve. As you can see that there are some points given on the PPC in this slide, and the points which are inside the PPC represent the underutilization of resources. The points on the PPC represents the fuller utilization of resources, and the points which are outside the PPC represent the growth of resources. The points mentioned on the PPC such as A, B, C, D, E and F, as well as the points inside the PPC such as G, H and I represents the attainable combination of output. On the other hand, points outside the PPC such as K represents the unattainable combination of output. Attainable combination of output is the affordable combination of output by the producer, whereas unattainable combination of output is the unaffordable combination of output by the producer, which means that the producer can afford to produce the combination of goods which are present on the PPC as well as inside the PPC, but the producer cannot afford to produce that combination of goods which is outside the PPC. Now the last topic of this chapter is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the value of second best alternative use. The concept of opportunity cost can be explained by the following numerical example. Let's say a farmer has 4 options to earn income through the following crops on the piece of land. First option is wheat with the income of rupees 6,000. Second option is rice with the income of rupees 5,000. Third one is maize with the income of rupees 3,000. And the last one is sugarcane with the income of rupees 2,000. Now the best option for the farmer to earn income by crop is by growing wheat with the income of rupees 6,000. And the second best option is rice with the income of rupees 5,000. The opportunity cost in this example is rupees 5000 from rice because it is the value of second best option. In the last slide, I have given you some questions which you have to solve yourselves and mention your doubts in the comment section if any. Thank you for watching this video.